Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, there's not that much XRP in existence, and there's also not that much XRP available for sale today. Most of the XRP that exists, I mean, you can even set aside Ripple's holdings. Most of the XRP that exists, it's not for sale on exchanges today. It's a small percent that is actually available that you could choose to purchase right now. And so that's why when the floodgates open and people come back in and we get back to crypto euphoria, good luck. Just the latecomers, they can just fight over the scraps that are left. Because there's not enough XRP for everybody on the planet, not at these prices anyway. And that's fine. And look, I understand that, you know, when you talk about 100 billion XRP, you know, the total supply, sounds like a big number, right? Or max supply. 100 billion XRP, especially when you compare it to Bitcoin's much smaller number of max supply of 21 million with an M. But let's dig a little bit deeper than that. I mean, you understand that each XRP is divisible by 1 million, whereas each Bitcoin is divisible by 100 million, right? And the smallest unit of an XRP is called a drop. The smallest unit of Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. And if you compare drops to Satoshis, you know, it's only somewhere in the neighborhood of about 50 times more drops as there are Satoshis. There's not that much more. Now, if you compare the big numbers, and this just has to do with where decimal points are, which is why I just kind of laugh because I think most people don't get this yet. But if you're looking at the big numbers, the 100 billion and the 21 million, and you consider circulating supply, all that, well, okay, then it's probably closer to like 5,000 times as much XRP. But if you look at each individual unit that exists on the blockchain, no, it's not that big of a difference. 50-fold, whatever, it doesn't matter. And plus, frankly, the number doesn't matter anyway because the supply and demand is what it is. The total number actually doesn't matter. People get hung up on that too. It literally doesn't matter. It's about percentage increases. I don't care what the hell the price is. Look at how expensive Bitcoin is. Oh my God! So would you rather have would you rather have an XRP at $10, or would you rather have a Bitcoin at $50,000? Which number's bigger? Well, the Bitcoin number's bigger. But what would you actually? Because that would be closer to a 2-fold increase. It'd be closer to a 20-fold increase of XRP. We're at $10. Yeah, I'll take the $10 coin, right? It's just it's some of these are simple concepts, but what is even more fascinating, and I think is going to have a much greater impact in terms of, you know, resulting in life-changing wealth for people that are holding XRP, you know, should it run to a new all-time high. If it does that, which I personally believe is probable, but I don't know, and it could go to zero. I acknowledge that. I don't know. But if that happens, again, there's so little XRP available. Good luck fighting over what's left. And consider this: XRP ran to its all-time high of close to $4. In January 4th, 2018, long time ago, right? Over half a decade ago. But it did that with almost no humans having held it. In fact, when that bull run started in December, there were less than 700,000 XRP accounts, and then after 2.5 weeks, it had jumped to about 1 million. So look at how few people jumped in, and caused it. And there were obviously other participants, you know, prior to that. But I'm just saying, look at how few humans and how few XRP accounts it took to push XRP that high. Well, the market's way bigger now. There are way more participants. And this is why I keep saying, like, XRP, I believe anyway, would have hit a new all-time high in 2021 during the last bull cycle if not for the fact that the SEC did what it did. But now XRP is indeed unshackled. And so I want to talk more a little bit later in the video because there's an article that specifically highlights implications of this as it pertains to Bitcoin. And so 2 reasons I want to highlight that. First of all, as I've been saying in recent days, and I firmly mean this, you should be very excited when there's positive news pertaining Bitcoin price action. When it's positive, you should be just as excited as if it's XRP because the asset class moves in tandem. Damn it! This is why I'm very happy to not be a maximalist, and I hope that none of you listening are XRP maximalists or maximalists of any coin because they don't make no damn sense. It really just doesn't make any damn sense. There's not going to be one coin to rule them all. And the asset class moves in tandem. Bitcoin leads the market. I want Bitcoin to do well. Therefore, I want it to do well. I understand it's the least technologically advanced, but I hold it. I happily hold it. I'm just way more excited about XRP and some other coins. Is what it is. So that will be good for XRP. Just the fact that Bitcoin is also scarce, that's going to be great for XRP. But the same factors that I discussed I mean, so it's true for both of them, for Bitcoin and XRP. There's not much Bitcoin available, and almost nobody understands this very simple concept. But there are some real world numbers I'll be showing you. Just let me get to that a little bit later in the video. But first, I thought I'd share with you this post from my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. He wrote this in the afternoon yesterday. He wrote, "I believe the bears are going to get left behind in epic fashion." And I will tell you this, I watched his latest video, and it was a little over a half hour long, and it was fascinating. And he pulled back to some of his clips. It was a long clip, actually, from, I believe it was February of this year. And he was, putting out his expectations for how things would unfold for Bitcoin specifically. He was mostly talking about altcoins, actually. But anyway, point being, the way that he was, anticipating things would play out back in February, that actually is what happened. And so now we're at this point, we're at this inflection point where this is the time where he actually thinks that altcoins, if his theory is right, they're actually going to run. And so if you want all the technical reasons, go check out his video. I don't want to regurgitate technical analysis, but it was truly fascinating here. And there's a reason that he cited what he cited. And so all this stuff, so if you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, just know that the Blockchain Backer, who'd be a top shelf technical analyst so far as I'm concerned, this is literally what he said was going to happen in February. It's here. And I was like, well, we're at that point. And he was talking about a head and shoulders formation on the charts. He's like, yeah, well, looks like it's pretty much formed, So what does that mean? And he was talking about specifically altcoins. Actually, what was it called? The category of coins, it might have been called other, but whatever it was, the label was. The point is, it was all cryptocurrencies except for the top 10 by market cap. And it was just fascinating looking at that. And so I was like, well, he nailed that one again, not surprising. And so if he's right, though, I think with his suspicion here, we're going to be having some fun, for the later part of this year. So even if it is the case that the major bull run doesn't start this year, although some think that it will, we're probably at this point where the narrative is very negative right now. Market is in fear right now, which is what Blockchain Backer actually called for in February as things were heating up and getting excited. He was saying, yeah, okay, well, you would expect if the chart plays out the way that I'm anticipating that, whatever the narrative is, it's going to be negative around this time. And wouldn't you know, that's where we are literally right now. I swear this guy's from the future. He's got some sort of flux capacitor. I'm pretty damn sure of that. Now take a look at this from the Daily Huddle. Institutions may be forced to fight over just 5% of Bitcoin supply, according to Invest Answers. A widely followed analyst says a key Bitcoin metric is looking strong despite the crypto market downturn. Citing an infographic from blockchain analytics firm Glassnode stating that 95% of the existing supply of Bitcoin has not moved over the past 30 days, the anonymous host of Invest Answers tells his 447,000 YouTube subscribers that all the flagship crypto asset needs to rally is buy-side catalyst. And so, folks, I'll note this also. And if you just want to get to the simplest terms, and it might have been literally yesterday, I was talking about this in a video, like, why isn't the price of XRP higher right now? Because there's not more demand. I know, it's simple, just simple. You could go to an Econ 101 class and figure this out. There's not enough demand, but it's true. And the entire asset class moving together doesn't mean there's something wrong with XRP. I mean, the SEC was the problem with XRP, and now that's gone. That hurdle no longer exists here, right? And so that's why I keep saying, once we do again get to a position where the entire crypto asset class is running, we're not going to have the same impediment that we had in 2021 when XRP actually was shackled as a result of this, and there were a lot of people that just wouldn't touch it, even though it was a top 10 crypto. And yes, it ran to a degree, it ran up to $2, and so there's that correlation still with the broader crypto asset class, but it was still shackled. It could only go so high. But we don't have to worry about that now. And so when demand comes back, it's on. Like it is that simple. Like, people like to make this overly complex, and they talk about utility and this and that. Utility doesn't sufficiently matter, although I'll talk about that more in a separate video, because people have been talking about that lately, and I've got some thoughts on that. But right now, let's not overcomplicate things. It really does just move in tandem. I care about utility. I'm willing to bet that pretty much all of you listening do too. And I do believe it will matter sufficiently to market participants in the future. It just doesn't today. But in a way, that actually does make things a little bit easier, because the asset class moves in tandem. But check out this quote. Breaking news. 95% of all Bitcoin has not moved in the last 30 days. So again, despite the weak market, only 5% is moving around. 95% is sitting tight, and we know why. But the real magic of this, imagine there's a catalyst, and imagine big money wants to jump in and buy a truckload of Bitcoin. Price will just go parabolic. And that's just economics, ladies and gentlemen. That is kind of why I'm so obsessed with Bitcoin. It's so scarce. So literally, when the big institutions come and they're fighting over that 5% and all the legacy holders are just sitting there watching, anyway, it's a reason to be excited, end quote. Yeah, and so the concept is spot on, whatever the numbers end up shaking out to be, and then there will be some Bitcoin that comes available for sale as prices rise because some people are going to want to take some profit, and I understand that, of course, as well. But the point is, even with that, there's not that much, and if demand is outstripping that, then who cares? You're going to have a euphoric run, and then we'll probably have another major crash just like we've seen every several years, and rinse and repeat. Okay. But there's more to it than that. Check out this. Piece continues. The anonymous host of Invest Answers further says that the remaining supply of Bitcoin, after accounting for long-term holders and the lost Bitcoin, is also a bullish indicator. And here's another quote. The amount of Bitcoin that is either hodled or lost, or basically has not moved in the last 5 years, is nearly 8 million Bitcoin. That means technically only 11 million, or thereabouts, have not. Yeah, and so I'll pause to note, separate from this, in recent days actually, I can't remember what the source was, but I know that I saw this. There was some, I can't remember if they were referencing a specific article or read it in an article, but the best estimate I've seen on just the Bitcoin that's lost out of the total supply ultimately of 21 million is that 4.5 million Bitcoin are lost forever. That's the best estimate that I've seen. So if you're just talking about lost, that's a ton. And I'm sure, there's going to be some, there'll be a certain amount of XRP where that's true as well. But it frankly doesn't, what matters most is the fact that XRP ran almost $4 with a fraction of a percent of humans on the planet having ever held XRP. It's like, when I first realized that over half a decade ago, it made my little Moon Lambo brain explode. It's like, poof. Anyways, quote continues. And in fact, taking this 5-year plus, it doesn't include all the Bitcoin lost over the last 5 years or less. So we know it's just super scarce. It's mind-boggling how scarce it is. And I always get the question, well, if it's so scarce, is that not bad? No, it's not. It means the price of what's left will go up. And it won't take a lot to move it as well. End quote. Yeah, and that's what I've said as well. There's so little money in crypto. This guy's absolutely nailing it. There's so little money in crypto in general. It doesn't take much to have it just... And so that's why I'm way more excited about XRP than Bitcoin, because the same concepts apply, but there's way less money in XRP than Bitcoin. It's easier to get that multiplier effect. So, and then as far as, when he's talking about institutional money coming in, and they have to fight for the scraps that are left, and he's talking about Bitcoin here, well, what might be a nice catalyst for that? What about what we've been talking about recently with a spot Bitcoin ETF, which as far as I'm concerned, it's an inevitability. It's going to happen. It's just a question of when. What about when that happens? My God, talk about the floodgates opening. That'll be a major thing. And even if there weren't, though, like you still get the cyclical nature of crypto, so more money would have been flowing anyway. But if you're talking about that additional, yeah, I'll take that. Hell, I'll take 2. I'm getting greedy, right? But again, all these concepts, the same stuff is true specifically of XRP. It is scarce. There is not much of it. And so you can think about it in terms like this. If anybody ever bitches about the total quantity, they're just being an idiot. Because you could just tell them this, okay, well, if the total supply instead were, well, technically, so the way market cap is calculated, they're talking about circulating supply. So fine, whatever. Let's look at, so what the hell is the circulating supply right now? Oh, actually, do I have it pulled up here? I hate that. I don't know why it goes away. Here, let me add this here. Circulating supply. It keeps going away. I don't know why. I have to keep manually going in every time I want to look at circulating supply on Live Coin Watch here. So anyway, 52 billion. And so that reason, and with that being the factor, 52, I'm using a round number, 52 billion XRP, you got a price of 50 cents. Okay, well, so in theory, if the circulating supply were half of that, then today XRP would be $1. But what we have to understand is It doesn't matter whether we have what we actually have, which is 52 billion XRP in circulating supply and 50 cent XRP, or if we have half that circulating supply, so call it 26 billion, and then we had $1 XRP, it wouldn't matter. It would be the same thing. Do you know why? I'm sure some of you have already figured this out, right? It's not that complex, actually, because it has to do with supply and demand. You would have been able to purchase, if the price is higher, you purchase less XRP, but it doesn't change the demand in and of itself. The demand doesn't change. So if there's less of it available, then obviously the price is higher, but the same number of humans are interested. It doesn't matter. It comes out in the wash. So if anybody ever argues to you that there's too much XRP so it can never be worth it, that you're speaking to a stupid person. Just stop. Like, stop talking to them. Just let them know. Maybe they don't know. Be like, oh, sir, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ruin your day or anything, but I think you're actually a stupid person. And I'm going to have to end this conversation. I'm very sorry. And you can be cordial like that, but just let them know they're a stupid person, because it doesn't make any damn sense up in this bit. It really doesn't. It does not matter. There's not that much available. There's not much available on exchanges. That's a big part of why there's so much opportunity here. And to me, that's a gigantic part of this excitement. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.